And I hope everybody had a good weekend and you have been having a good week so far. Hey Preston, how are you, my love? And shout out to the replay crew, and for those who are not subscribed but maybe watching this on the replay, please make sure you do subscribe. We do lives every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and then pre-recorded videos other days of the week, so you don't want to miss out. And thank you for joining us, and thank you for the crew who has made it live with us. So, oh my goodness, what's been going on, guys? Hey, Lindsay. Hey, B. I love you too. Hey, Sana. Oh, thank you. I had my hair up in a bun last night after I washed it. And I know you're not supposed to go to bed with a wet bun in your hair, but I did. And then I just took it down and I was gonna like blow dry it, but then I was like, I don't feel like doing it, so I just left it. So, hey Ashley, hi Irie, hi Amanda. How are you guys? So, what is going on in the world right now? I feel like there's so much stuff. I was just complaining yesterday in Patreon that I have like all these things in my head that I'm like, oh, we gotta talk about that. And then the second that I get on the camera, I'm like, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot about everything. But, oh, I had the best idea for a collaboration between two artists that would really blow somebody up. Okay, imagine Kim Petras and Lady Gaga together. Already sounds great, right? But imagine that they did like an anniversary remix to Just Dance. Would that not be like the best collaboration? And I feel like that would really push Kim Petras into more of a mainstream pop icon, because I think they're doing her such a disservice by trying to push her on the hip hop community. And I think that for many reasons, and I think that, you know, they need to team her up with somebody like Lady Gaga or Ariana Grande, who has the real target audience that she needs anyways. But I just think like her and Lady Gaga would fucking like eat. Like, I think they would complement each other so well. And imagine like them on a remix to that song to celebrate the anniversary of it, because it came out in 2008. Like, I just think that would be so freaking perfect for both of them. So I think that that's the thing though. Kim reminds me of a pop star. And I think that if they focus on making her a pop star, and then you bring in hip hop artists to feature or do a collaboration on a song that she's doing, but it's like a pop song, then you're doing, you know, the cross promo that makes sense. But for many reasons, the hip hop community is not going to really like 100% jump on board to being Kim Petras fans right now. So I think that she needs, you know, to kind of go more in the pop direction and target the white girls and the mainstream and the gays. And that's her real target audience that would like really support her and blow her up. But I think that she has the potential to be such a big artist. She just needs her team to get on board with that and be a little bit more focused. So you also need more of an EDM artist who could put a remix on it, like Steve Aoki or someone like that to work on the song. That would be a cool vibe too. But even if they did just stick with the pop theme of it, it would still work. And you just like add in a couple new verses for Kim to sing and kind of update the song a bit. And I think that would be so freaking cute. So that's the thing. I was like, there's so many people who have so much potential, but their teams just be doing the weirdest shit sometimes that it's like, what are you guys doing? Like Chloe Bailey, like she should be blowing up huge, but they missed such a mark with her. And honestly, like I know whatever happened to the deluxe album that was supposed to come out for her debut album. Because wasn't she supposed to have a deluxe version of, what was the album even called? Was it In Pieces? I was gonna say Pieces of Me. I was like, that's another artist album. But I was just like, when they announced it, I was like, no, what they should do is a follow-up, put all the pop songs and all of the other songs that she'd already done, like Have Mercy and you know, all the ones that we were expecting to be on that album on there, and make the whole theme of that like, I went through a heartbreak, but now I'm back in my I remember that I'm a bad bitch era, and I'm ready to put myself back out there again and look at the dudes that are noticing me, and I'm going out and having fun and dating and getting excited again, and like make that the follow-up to it. And so that way it's like, she could have really like done some shit with that era, but they didn't, and then nobody ever heard about this deluxe album ever again. So oh, hey Dario. But Victoria Monet, I know she's somebody that I think like deserves, you know, to have a bigger spot. And same thing with Doechii. Hey Donna, you thought about Brittany and Ashley Simpson Piece of Me. Maybe that's who I was remembering Piece of Me from, but I was like, it's so similar anyways. Hey Hannah. Hey Ahira. But no, I think that would be so good, because I just feel like there's a lot of similarities between Gaga and Kim anyways. So I just think it would be such a cute moment. And I think that would be such a good link up for the two of them. So we're manifesting this. And you know who actually would also like be a good collaboration? Kelly Rowland and Chloe Bailey. I think that they could do something so cute together. And if Beyonce doesn't want to support her artist, let Kelly do it. Like have them like sing like a song about like just like womanhood. Like that would be like cute, like a sisterhood womanhood type of anthem, like a I'm Every Woman. Even if they did a cover of I'm Every Woman, but like have that moment. And honestly, like they could like bring, actually imagine a cover of I'm Every Woman with the new girls. Kelly Rowland, Chloe Bailey, Victoria Monet, Halle Bailey, like have them all do parts of the song and add their voice to it. Have a bunch of different types of women and different generations of women on it. Like that would be like such a classy like coming together of women thing that would be so cute too. So put Normani on it. Normani would be a good one too to have sing the song also. So it's like, listen, I come up with some bomb ass ideas, okay? Like I should have been on the PR and marketing team for some of these labels. Or at least for some of these artists. The orange cat is doing good. By the way, I was going to tell y'all it's a boy. I figured it would be anyways because like majority of orange cats usually are boys. It's like kind of rare to get like a female orange cat. But he is actually like thriving and having a great old time. He is best buddies with Stevie. They remind me of, did you guys ever read that book when you were little, Are You My Mother? And I can't remember if it's like a kitten or a duck that goes around because it like gets separated from its mom and it keeps going up to all these other animals and being like, are you my mother? And then in the end, like it finds its mom. And it's like, you are my mother. Like, that's what he reminds me of, the way that he's just was like trying to find somebody to take him under his wing, and he is so like stuck on Stevie, and Stevie's being so nice to him, so they're getting along great. So that book is so cute. It really is. Like, I was like thinking about it yesterday, and like I started kind of tearing up. I was like, I missed that book. It was cute. So it's a duck. Okay, I couldn't remember because I was like, obviously, like, I'm older, and I don't think we ever had that book for my son. I just remember it from my childhood. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Oh, but listen to this. Carlos' cat is back, starting its crap. It got in a fight with Tori. He has like a whole bald spot, like right above his eye. And he's got like lumped up like on the back of his leg. Like, he actually lets me, this is why like Tori is like the chillest and the sweetest and the calmest and the most non-drama of all of the kittens. I'm like, why the fuck did you pick him to get in a fight with? And this is how chill he is, that like he's all beat up and he literally was like letting me inspect all his wounds and like didn't freak out that like I was touching them. Like, I can pick eye boogers off his face. He does not trip. He is just so freaking sweet and chill. Like, he's like the perfect cat for somebody that wants like a really chill cat that wants to cuddle, but doesn't, you know, want to get into everything and be wild like some cats do. Cough, cough, Whitney. I was so mad at it. Oh my God. Like, it just saw my face this morning and took off running the opposite way because like it knew that like I was going to yell at it, because it likes to just stand there and wait for the kittens to eat and then to come over and try to fuck with them while they're eating. So yeah, I'm happy for Orange Kitty too. And I'm very sad for Tori every time he runs up to me with his little bald eyebrow. I'm like, that cat's gonna get it. I can't believe that she wouldn't leave you alone. I can't tell if that cat's a boy or a girl. I just call it Carlos anyways. Its name tag says Angel, and it is obviously anything but an angel. So, but honestly, I'm surprised that it was him that got in the fight with her, because I would have thought it would have been the Tuxedo Chance or Onika. Like, Onika looks like she just is looking for somebody to look at her wrong so she can fight it. I was like, Lindsay, are you going to take in every single cat outside? Dude, I wish I could take all these kittens inside, but anybody would be crazy to have 8 cats in a condo. I mean, 8 cats is like a lot anyways, like for anybody, but especially when you have a condo, like I can't be doing that. And so, but they're all such cute little sweet kitties. So no, Onika does not play at all. She's like she's the alpha of the whole litter. That's what's so funny about it. And was until Orange Baby came along. The smallest too. Oh, and Orange Baby's name is Miles for Miles Davis, by the way, because his name was going to either be Miley if it was a girl or Miles if it was a boy. So it's Miles. Winnie would build an army to get back at me. Oh my God, she totally would. Yes, jazz legend Kitty. Well, you know that the Lou in Whitney's name is for Lou Rawls, right? Because she is Whitney Lou West Basso. So Whitney Houston, Lou Rawls, Kanye West, and me. I'll make up her names. So guys, are we surprised that allegedly Lori Harvey and Damson Idris have allegedly separated? It's like I gotta turn my page back. I write down who we're reading on because when I'm in the studio part, it only shows me like the little first part of the title of what we're doing, and I don't want to forget since we end up talking about other people too. But I know everybody was in shock, you know, given her track record of always breaking up at that 1 or 2 year mark with somebody, depending on how long the contract was for. The female skeet. Oh my God. Well, there are people in the industry that are the go-to PR boyfriends and girlfriends. Pete Davidson is one. Lori Harvey is another. Everybody always, you know, gets mad at me because I say that, but it's like, it's the truth. So, you know, I don't even know what questions do we have about this situation. Put question in front of it. Several streams of income. Listen, maybe they watch Dario's channel and they're like, okay, I gotta make sure I have my multiple streams of income. So if Kim Kardashian wants to pay to date me, I'll take her up on it. I'm not going to only just count on those Saturday Night Live checks. Oh my God, that's so funny. Lori and Dario are next. Was this Lori's favorite PR relationship? Let me see. Spirit's saying no. Spirit's saying he actually annoyed her. And I don't know if you guys ever got that because I just remembered as Spirit was saying that I did see people say at times like he seemed like he was like annoying her, and it's like Spirit's just saying like a lot of it was like she didn't like, sometimes it was just stuff like it's like, oh, like you're talking in a British accent really fast and you're using more like British slang, so like I don't really understand half of what you're talking about right now. And then he was a little too heavy on like the PDA stuff, and she didn't really like that because she wasn't attracted to him. Which, listen, he's very attractive in my opinion, but I get it. Just because somebody's attractive doesn't mean you're attracted to them. And there is nothing more annoying when you are not attracted to somebody and they want to keep like kissing all up on you and putting their arm around you and hugging on you, and it's like, get off. I think he's super handsome, and I think that he seems like a fun time to hang out with, but apparently Lori didn't. So I don't feel like, you know, Spirit saying that Michael B. Jordan and her dad had like a really good connection, or him and Steve Harvey. And there wasn't like a big romantic like attraction or interest between her and Michael B. Jordan either, but it's like she enjoyed his company more because she felt like it was more like chill and intellectual, whereas like Damson was more like goofy and silly and, you know, a lot of energy. And it's like she doesn't really like guys like that. That's why she liked Future. And Future was a real relationship for her, because Future's just like, I'm just go smoke a bunch of weed and sit in the corner, you know, and that's like more her vibe, is what Spirit's saying. So, what is Lori's type? Spirit saying somebody more like Future. A little more hood, a little more chill, a little more laid back, like, but obviously has money too. What is she looking for in a real relationship? Spirit saying that she's not even like thinking about that right now. She's enjoying playing the game of like getting paid to be somebody's girlfriend, because it, you know, she gets to go to award shows and she gets to go to certain places. She makes money from it. It puts her name out there, so she gets more endorsements and brand deals, and it opens doors for her. So like she's not even like thinking about or worried about like any type of like relationship right now. And you know what's funny that Spirit's saying? She doesn't care if she has kids or not either. Like, she doesn't have a real big desire to have them someday. She would totally be fine, like, being like, you know, like Jeff Bezos's relationship is, where it's like, you can tell, like, his fiance is not gonna, like, be the girl that he has a bunch of kids with. It's like, I already got that out of my way. I just want to have somebody that like can go on yachts with me and vacation with me anywhere and follow me around and look good on my arm and go schmooze with the celebrities when I don't want to do it. And it's like she could see herself being that kind of second or third wife, marry a slightly older rich man who doesn't want to have kids and who just really wants somebody that's going to be their arm candy. Like, that's the kind of life that she wants. So, did she go after him but then realize too late that she didn't want anything long term? She didn't go after him. It was a PR relationship. So it was set up by their teams. And, you know, money was involved. It wasn't a real, like, he chased after her, she chased after him. It was just like, oh, our teams thought, like, we'd be a good match together, and they signed a contract to date for a certain amount of time. How did Damson feel about Lori? Okay, this is the thing that Spirit's saying. He didn't even want to, like, do a whole PR relationship. It was his team that was pushing him to do it. And it was because it's like, okay, your show's ending, but we need to keep your name out there and keep you relevant, so that way we can transition you into your next projects. And so, you know, it was just about the timing, like trying to keep his name out there. But Spirit's saying like he's just really like a kind of happy-go-lucky person. So he was just like, well, if I'm going to do this, like, I'm going to try to, like, have fun when I got to hang out with her and lean into it and try to make it believable. But he wasn't really into her like that. Damn, people think she has all these high standards and are looking up to her. Turns out it's something completely different, right? And that's why when people are like, oh, she makes her boyfriend sign NDAs, I'm like, I guarantee you that she's signing NDAs for those boyfriends also, because that's what happens when you are in a PR relationship. because they don't want you to break up and then go do the Julia Fox thing and run around town capitalizing off of the 2 weeks that you hung out with Kanye for 2 years and write books about him and go on every podcast talking about him, do Instagram lives about him. Like, that's not what they want. So it's like everybody has to sign a damn NDA and an agreement as to, you're going to do this many things, you're going to go to this many shows, you're going to post this many things, you're going to call each other nicknames, you know, we got to like make it seem real. So I know, I think him and Chloe Bailey would have been so freaking cute. But I think it's just, you know, Chloe Bailey is probably not in a place in her life where she wants a PR relationship or feels like she needs it. Not saying that we won't ever see her in one. I'm just saying at this moment, you know, it's like not a necessity or a priority for her. But I think if they wanted to have a real relationship and he's a decent dude and he's not a cheater, like him and Chloe would be super cute together. I saw one interview of him and it seems to have a good vibe and charisma. Yeah, that's what he just seems like really chill and fun, but kind of hyper. She's so unhinged. The fact that I did not hear about her before this. Oh, Julia Fox, right? The nicknames always give them away because who the fuck is calling their girlfriend Turtle? Well, the way that they were calling each other Turtle and Nugget, I was like, that sounds like names that little kids would like call having to go number 2. I have to drop a nugget. I have a turtle coming out or something like that is what it made me always think like, what the hell are you guys? The weirdest names ever. Oh, I forgot that he was the one that was the guy that played opposite of her in Swarm. I never watched it. I just saw everybody losing their absolute minds over the fact that Chloe had such an explicit, you know, scene in a show like that. But I completely forgot that it was Damson that was the one that was doing that with her. I was just racking my brain trying to think if we've seen the two of them around each other. Like, can we make this happen? And I completely forgot they already know each other. What is Lori's next PR relationship? What if it's Pete? Oh my God. Could you imagine Lori Harvey and Pete Davidson together? Oh my God, that's just like the funniest thing, trying to imagine the two of them together. I mean, I could see Pete having one of his manic episodes and tattooing her name across his forehead, but no, I don't know why I keep feeling like it's gonna be an athlete next time. If it's not exactly next time, there is definitely an athlete in Lori's future. Because listen, the NFL lost so many viewers and people not wanting to tune in. That's why, you know, they keep focusing on Taylor Swift every time that she's at one of Travis Kelce's games, the way that people were complaining that, you know, instead of them actually showing the game on the field or the replay of, you know, the touchdown or whatever, that they were like, let's get Taylor Swift's reaction to that. And like, we're zooming in on her in the, you know, box and everything. And he's got a Pfizer sponsorship now, and people are talking about how he only has a couple more years left. And so he's trying to secure, you know, his name and relevancy so that he can still have a career after he gets off the field. And I feel like there would be somebody else that's watching all of this and saying, hey, you know what? I'm a damn good player. I want everybody to know who I am. I want all that attention. And so they're going to want to date Lori Harvey so that they can have their own Travis Taylor moments. So watch. It'll happen. But what would nicknames for each other be? Oh my God. Are you guys talking about nicknames for Skeet and Lori? Oh my God, I don't even want to think about what their nicknames for each other would be. I love how every time they would check for Giselle's reaction, she was staring at her phone. Oh my God, right? Like, she didn't care. What if she dates Teyana Taylor next? Oh my God. That would be odd. If I was him, I would choose Mayo over Mucus. Easy. Listen, that's why I just like feel like it's gonna be so hard for Megan Thee Stallion for them to find her another PR relationship, because she's that girl that it's like people are either gonna be like, oh yay, good for her, she moved on, or like drag the dude for absolute filth of how can you date somebody like her. And I feel like a lot of people just don't want that attached to them. So I know that's what's funny though, is that she keeps getting on. Well, Meg Thee Stallion was supposed to be in a PR relationship with Michael B. Jordan. And then the Tory situation happens and his team was like, fuck that noise. And then all of a sudden she was with Party. So that's two men that she has had stolen right out from under her for PR relationships with other people. Actually, Mucus and Skeet should date each other and then they can be Mosquito. That would be a cute couple name for them. I would also choose MJB over gingivitis, right? So Mucus people rather date Mayo, you screwed up. Yep, she did. But I think that her and Skeet would be a great combination because, you know, Rock Nation's trying to push her onto the white community. So that's the perfect, because that's why they were trying to get her hooked up with Travis Kelce. So just use Skeet. He'll get you that white audience that you've been wanting. I mean, it'll be a bunch of stoner skaters, but still. They can do that. It'll work out great for them. Oh my God. He's tall too. So like, that's not an issue. They would be adorable together. When she went next time, can you imagine? He's like, that's my girlfriend up there. While she's twerking, talking about how her pussy's depressed. And she's... and she misses her parents. I'm sorry, just the fact that she said in that song, my pussy is depressed, and then she's fucking twerking on the screen saying she misses her dead parents. Like, it's like the biggest, like, what the hell? As I saw somebody on one of the blogs go, nobody, and then it's like, Megan, my parents are depressed, and then they put all the dancing emojis and peach emojis afterwards. backwards ass fans were like, when people have said anything about like, why are you naked in a depression anthem music visuals, and her fans are like, she still has to sell sex, so she still has to be sexy. It's like, why does she have to sell sex, and why does she always have to be sexy? Like, when did that become like a freaking rule that everybody had to follow? And why couldn't it just be this one time, because you're talking about how your life sucks and you're so depressed and you went through all this crap, that you keep your clothes on? Like, they could have literally had her all bundled up in a fall scene under a tree with the clouds rolling in and the rain coming down, and she's sitting there getting rained on, rapping the song under a tree, and it still would have gave the same thing. It would have matched better. And people would have been like, oh my God, look at poor Megan under the tree crying. They can go to rehab together. Deluxe comes out November 17th. Nobody is more excited about that than Whitney Lou, because she loves Alone at Prom. We literally listen to that album like almost every day. Let me see. Single Girl Summer. I don't want your sad cooch mucus. Like, just what kind of a bar is that though? What, this pussy depressed? Who the hell is even thinking about their freaking cooch when they're depressed anyways? That's like, usually people say they don't have any sex drive. But like, why would that be like a bar that you decided in the booth, I'm going to say that, and then you listened back and said, yeah, that's the one, keep it, and nobody told you? I don't think that sounds right. Like, let's not put that on there. Hey, D. Him dealing with his disorder while she twerks her tears away. Oh my God. Oh no, did it freeze for a second? I have no control over that, guys. I have a brand new modem. I use my iPhone. I have good reception where I sit. It's on the Wi-Fi too. It's YouTube. It's not me. I don't have any control over their servers. So, not Skeet and Mucus and Lori trying to silence us from exposing their upcoming throuple. Well, maybe that's what it is. So, the streets are talking, and they are saying that Gabby Union and Dwayne Wade have been pulling a Will and Jada, and that they've been living separately for a while. And then people noticed that they were only posting pictures of them with the kids separately. And then everybody saw, what was it, the Halloween pictures that came out, and they both looked pissed off and annoyed and like they didn't want to be there. And then I think there's been a bunch of blind items too that we're talking about, that they've been separated for like 6 months now, or maybe even longer. So let's see what Spirit and the cards have to say about that situation. Feels like we're in divorce and breakup season. Which usually happens, if you guys haven't noticed, like after the summer and then again after the holidays. Because it's like people go on that save the marriage vacation and then it doesn't work out. And then it's like, okay, we're going our separate ways. And Then they usually announce it in the fall. And then after that, it's like, okay, well, let's get through Christmas for the kids. And then after Christmas, the New Year's are over. And then, we get the fresh set of announcements. So, let's see. Dario. Well, I said on Mob's World page that maybe her throat was also depressed, and that would explain why Bluetooth wasn't impressed by the neck she gave him. So, well, I mean, it's been a pattern for years that's how people sort of break up. It's just we're in the thick of breakup season. And it's funny how breakup seasons, always coincides with cuffing season, too. And just to be clear, we're not discussing anything that has to do with anything with the kids. Kids are off limits. We don't discuss them. They're blessings. They didn't ask to be here. They're innocent. We just talk about the funky ass adults in the situations. Well, if you guys have heard any kind of rumors of cheating, that has definitely been taking place in this situation. Yeah, they're definitely separated right now. They're gonna try to figure everything out, like as far as how they're gonna handle things, like who gets the house and who are the kids gonna live with most of the time, and how are we gonna handle like splitting up finances and things like that. But once they do come to that agreement, then we're gonna hear that they have parted ways, and it'll be some whole does it make any sense, really weird announcement of like, we are the best of friends and committed to our friendship in this lifetime and every lifetime beyond, but unfortunately our romantic journey has to come to an end, where people are going to be like, did they really just say they split up? Like, what the hell is this supposed to mean? But they've definitely been separated for quite a while. It is showing that he chose to be the one that ended things and that moved out. And he's already seeing other people. She's showing up as being overly concerned about the financial aspect of things. How am I going to maintain my lifestyle? How am I still going to pay for things? I want to keep the house, but I can't afford it on my own. And he needs to cover certain things for me. So this is coming up as her main concern. But both of them cheated on each other towards the end before this whole separation situation happened. And this is one of those situations too where there was times that other people were brought into the bedroom to keep things spicy. But that didn't help nothing. It just made the both of them want to step out on each other. But they've been having trouble in this situation, in this marriage, for a long time. Didn't they just move to California from like Miami or something? Because it feels like on the surface, they told everybody that it was so that Zaya could feel more safe and welcome in a different environment. However, the real motivating factor underneath all of it was that their hoes were back in Miami, and it was like, let's get the hell out of here and see if we can go across the country and just fix shit, me and you. And that didn't help things. It was a benefit to Zaya to move, but that was not the determining factor in that move. So they're definitely going to end up fighting a lot about money, you guys. That just keeps coming up as a huge issue, which is funny because I didn't think it would, because she was just on that podcast saying that they split everything 50-50. So it's like, if you are splitting things 50-50, like, why are you so like obsessed with like how much money you're gonna have and how you're gonna pay for everything, Gabby? That's kind of weird. But I don't think she was entirely telling the truth about the whole 50-50 split on stuff, or at least it wasn't more until recently that it became a 50-50 split. But she's kind of one of those people that it's like, and this isn't just like, I mean, you know, saying anything wrong against her. I'm this way too. Where it's like she's still held on to so much resentment towards him for his past transgressions and for being, you know, getting some other girl pregnant when she was the one that was struggling to have a baby. And all the other times that he cheated on her and lied to her, that it's like she wasn't always the kindest to him because she was taking out that resentment and that unhealed, unresolved anger from, you know, his past transgressions against him. And that caused a lot of the issues in that relationship. And that's why I always tell people, you know, when it comes to cheating and working things out, like, that's, everybody has a different situation. Everybody has a different relationship. That's up to y'all what you choose to do, you know. But if you can forgive somebody for cheating and like start all over, you're a better person than I am, because I will never forget that you betrayed me and I'm gonna freaking end up hating your ass. No matter how hard I try to forgive and forget, I will not be able to. And when I lose respect for you, I get mean. And I can't help that. My shadow side just comes out and I just want to be nasty all the time. So it's like, that's why I know, like, you do something like that to me, we just need to cut ties, because like I will never be able to get past it, and I'm going to make you miserable and I'm going to make myself miserable too. Still being mad about it forever. So yeah, a lot of them do end up staying married just because it's, you know, the money situation and gets in the way and all of that. And or if it's like Melania and Donald, you don't want to get caught up in like being forced to testify against your husband. So it's like, okay, I'll stay married to you, but I'm only doing it because I don't want to like suffer legal repercussions because of you. As soon as your situation's over, I'm out the freaking door. But I mean, if you ever listen to like Heather McDonald's Juicy Scoop podcast, because she is, you know, a comedian and she's been in Hollywood around everybody and around all these rich people and stuff, and worked on Chelsea lately. And she says that like that's the thing, that a lot of these like wealthier like white people that may not even be like, you know, people names that we recognize, but they hold some level of importance, you know, in certain social circles. Like the kids grow up and, you know, move out, and the parents are like, well, I don't like you anymore, but I also don't want to go through a divorce. So they'll just, you know, one of them moves to Miami and lives in a beachfront property and, you know, goes out on the boat all the time and screws whoever they want. And the other one's back in LA doing the same thing, but like they're not going to get divorced because otherwise it's going to cause too much, you know, financial upheaval, and neither one of them wants to compromise the lifestyle that they have. So they just stay separated for the rest of their lives, but never really get that full divorce. So it's definitely common for people to do that. And then it's like, okay, the kids are getting married. Let's go like present a united front and pretend like we're still happily married while at our son's wedding or at our granddaughter's baptism. But, you know, they do the Will and Jada thing where they would show up to award shows like they were still together even though they weren't. So it's very common, I guess. Marriage is not that profitable, guys. Every day I'm like, I might get married spiritually and that's all. Yeah, it's most people lose money in a divorce unless you're like divorcing Elon Musk or somebody like that, like, or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates. But like for the normal ones of us, most people like take a financial hit when you have to get a divorce, even if both parties were working or you did accumulate some sort of property or anything during the marriage. So I know. I just feel like that's so weird, and like I don't know, I wouldn't feel comfortable like dating somebody knowing like you're still legally married to your ex and y'all don't ever plan on getting a divorce, but like I have to just be this like, you know, like I don't have a real like important place in your life, because at the end of the day, like if something happens to you, the hospital is going to call your wife, even though y'all haven't like lived together for 20 years before they're going to call me. Like, I don't know. That's just so weird to be the person that's coming into that situation from the outside. I'm even over relationships and dating right now. I can't even imagine marriage. Well, listen, we will not find ourselves in relationships and marriages like these Hollywood weirdos. So we don't have to, you know, have the same worries as them. Well, Heather did say that she has a friend that is that girlfriend to somebody that's never divorced their first wife because of all of that, you know, businesses and all that kind of stuff. And I guess the boyfriend bought her a house. He put her in his will for her to get part of his estate. And there was something else that he did, like, in order to make sure that she knew that she was still going to be taken care of. And it kind of sounds almost like it was like a bribe to stick around. But, I mean, that's probably a very one-off situation. And for everybody else, you just end up getting screwed. So... you know, don't think that that's going to be you either, though. But anyways, what questions do we have about Miss, I was going to say Miss Wade and Mr. Union. That must have been a real Freudian slip because I was not trying to be shady with that. I was trying to say their names right. What questions do y'all have about Gabby and Dwayne? I also always want to say that his name is Dwayne for some reason, not Dwayne, and like combine the two, the first and the last name together into one weird name. Well, listen, I think we can all tell from looking at that relationship from the outside in that the man is not the one with the most masculine energy in that connection. And, it's kind of like he's a little more feminine, she's a little more masculine than a lot of other couples. Will they struggle with co-parenting? Let me see. Oh my God, Lindsay, I cannot answer that on here. Nor do I want to ask Spirit how many times she ate the groceries. I want to gag instead. That's nasty. Lindsay must have had some good kush before she got on here today. I did spill some very interesting tea about Dwayne and Gabby over at patreon.com/psychicbellalove if you would like to join. I have exposed a lot of very interesting things about celebrities and things that I can never talk about over here. And that's where we go into the Illuminati, history, religion, daily gossip. We go live every week. That is where all the Nicki Minaj content is now at. And my Patreons get exclusive opportunities for different types of readings than are what is normally listed on my website, and special discounts. So if you would like to join us, patreon.com/psychicbellalove. And if you wanted to book your own personal private reading, psychicbellalove.com. I do not take appointments through any other place other than my website. So if anybody ever DMs you on Instagram pretending to be me, it ain't me. Where's my award? You did a 45-minute workout and took a shower, so maybe that gave you a slight boost. Maybe. Hey, problematic favorite. Welcome. I'm glad you made it, babe. Oh, I would never say grand rising. You all should know by now how I talk. I have never been like, grand rising, I have a message from your ancestors. Your chakras are frozen, and if you believe in Vedic astrology, I can tell you that your energy is frozen from some guy in the past, and I have a message for you in your DMs. Like, that's not me. And I don't have any pages named Kathy either. When they did that, like, somebody copied me and was going around pretending to be me, and their literal name on the Instagram was Kathy. I was like, do I look like a motherfucking Kathy to you? I am not no Kathy, okay? At least, if you're gonna say that my name isn't Bella, call me Valentina Esmeralda. Something more exotic than Isabella even, but like Kathy, hell no. That pissed me off more than them pretending to be me. It's calling me Kathy. It was with a K on top of it too. Oh God, girl, run like hell. The guys that be doing the good rising and grand rising and all that stuff are in the fake spirituality. They're the biggest fuck boys. Run like hell. Alrighty. So, okay, don't be surprised, because I do feel like there is an effort at first, especially from Dwayne's side, to co-parent healthily and get along with Gabby, but remember, she's the one that has all of this anger and resentment, especially because it's like, in the end, you still chose to walk out on me on top of everything else that I suffered through to be with you. And I feel like at first we'll still see his kids around her a bit, especially Zaya, but I feel like those relationships end at some point too. And it is like, we still wanted to like be in contact with you, like from the kids' point of view, like we still loved you. We still saw you as a family member because you were in our lives for so long. But the way that Spirit's talking about it, it's like her constantly throwing barbs like at their dad, like at every chance given, like, oh, yeah, make sure you put your dish in the dishwasher because we know that your dad is incapable of doing things like that. And it's just like, I don't want to be around you anymore because all you do is drag my dad. And it's just like that relationship ends up dissolving because of it. Honestly, I know we've seen Gabby have her moments in the past. I feel like she's about to have a real dark night of the soul moment going forwards because Spirit is talking about it's like the anger consuming her and her getting into a real dark place because of that and losing a lot of friends and people that would typically, you know, be around her and wanting to support her during that time, that she's gonna really go through it and then have to do a lot of work to pull herself back out of that place all over again and to start over. And that's really sad. But I mean, I can understand on the one hand too. Like, you took the man back because he cheated on you and had an outside baby on you. You ran around making excuses for it for years. You were letting him have threesomes, trying to keep him happy. You forgave him a bazillion times for all the stuff he was doing, only for him to leave you in the end. It's like, yeah, like, I can get that somebody would be probably really angry about that. But again, it's like if you were walking around with all that resentment and anger inside of you, like you should have either sought help before that or walked away before it got to that point. You know, that's where we have to know ourselves. So, I mean, she'll be forced to still have to deal with him because the little one is still so little that she's going to have to still deal with him for what, 15 more years? So she needs to work on being able to heal and find herself in a peaceful place, because if she doesn't, it's going to be very hard for them to co-parent. A lot of people really don't like her. I used to love that movie that she was in with LL Cool J, Deliver Us from Eva. That had such a good soundtrack on it. That Anne Marie song was so good. But it's so funny because like a lot of people were like years later, you know, the more that we kind of got to like know who Gabrielle Union was and see the way that she talked and all that and acted, like a lot of people were like, oh, that character was very easy for her to play because she is Eva, like in real life. And I could totally see that. What about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sabrina the Witch? Oh my God. Well, I mean, people always have said I look like them, so, you know, that's fine. It's just don't call me Kathy. That's what I was saying, Kanka. Like, everybody was like, she was so good in that movie. She was just playing herself. And I was like, probably. Man, LL Cool J was so damn fine back in the 90s and the 80s. I mean, he's still a good-looking ass man for his age. Don't get me wrong. But young LL Cool J, there was just something about him. So, but she's got to get out of her own way in this situation if she wants everything to move forwards in a peaceful place. I remember seeing her in the Busta Rhymes music video, I Love My Chick. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and watch that again. I don't know. The whole video and song doesn't even like resonate with me. I know I've probably heard it, but I'll have to go back and rewatch. She's pretty talented. Honestly, if she changed attitude, I feel like she would have been bigger. Yeah. I could see her and Tracee Ellis Ross having a show together. And like they could be sisters and she would be like the strict, really like, you know, put together one, and Tracy's like the goofy hippie sister. Like that'd be cute. But alrighty, so let's move on to Uzi and JT because allegedly they have broken up now. They could do a girlfriend spinoff, but then Tracee would have to play Joan again. But if Jill Marie Jones still didn't want to come back, then Gabby could be the replacement for Tony's character. It's so weird how she put Keith Powers as her love interest in that movie. Yeah. Alrighty, so let's see. Allegedly, after all of the drama and stuff, people are saying that JT and Uzi broke up. Then people said they broke up and got right back together again. So we're going to see what's going on with their relationship. Good for JT. If it's true, go get a man taller than 5 feet who isn't the direct spawn of Satan. Listen. She needs to stop dating these feminine ass dudes. Like JT is somebody who needs to date a football player next. She needs a big ol' alpha male who's big and strong, who's a good foot taller than her, 100 pounds of muscle more than her, that's gonna make her feel safe and submissive and feminine and let her really bask in that soft feminine energy, because he's just an alpha that like you have no choice but to really be in your feminine, so that she can really truly be the girly girl that she needs to be. And I guarantee you, like, she would be so freaking happy. It doesn't have to be her forever. It could be her just rebound and reset and teach her that there's other types of guys out there. You don't have to date boys that paint their nails. And I think that that would be like such like a healing thing for her, and we would see such a different side of JT. I know you guys do. I mean, we all remember Nikki dating Safari. Sagittarius girls, sometimes the people that you pick, it's like, girl, you're so beautiful. Why are you with that nasty little turd? Like, huh? Emphasis on reset. Yes, she really needs the resets. That's why I said he could just be a fun little fling, but she needs somebody that can pick her up and toss her around and carry her to the car when her feet hurt and show her a good time. She reminds you of Nikki when it comes to her energy. I can see that. Because I feel like whether she realizes it or not, Uzi doesn't make her feel safe. So that's why I think that sometimes she's so quick to be so defensive, because she doesn't feel like she has a man that's going to back her up. And obviously she doesn't have a circle of people that are supportive of her. Like, imagine that, like, JT went and dated a football player and then joined Taylor Swift's girl squad. Because if you're going to say anything, that's the one thing I admire about Taylor. Nobody fucks with her friends. And if you do, she's going to write a song about you and let them stay and let the friends stay in her mansion. So it's like she needs girlfriends that are going to, like, make her cupcakes, get in fights on Twitter defending her, come over with matching pajamas to, like, paint nails and have a girly little night. Like, she needs an entirely new team of people around her, from the boyfriend to the friends. I actually could see JT in Taylor Swift's little squad of friends. Couldn't you? Like, I actually think that would be, like, so fun for her and, like, cute too. Like, that would be a good reset for JT also. And it would be good for Taylor, because then she can put some black people in her circle and people stop saying that she's racist. Well, because, look at, if her and Ice Spice went and joined the group and decided that we're all going to be friends, and we know that Taylor's friends with Nikki, like, they could have, like, the merging of the two groups. That would just benefit everybody. And I think it would show JT that this is what it's like when you have real friends, not people like Miami and Santana that are going to be on mute every time something happens with you. But then Santana will go on a week-long binge of fighting with every single person on the internet because they said that they didn't like a City Girls song, but never once defended JT and all of that. Dude, Carisha would shit herself, or shit on Diddy, I guess, if if JT started hanging out with Taylor Swift and them. Oh my God, I can imagine how mad she would be. That would be awesome though. But oh my God, I could so see that. So they do it on purpose. They're jealous ass hoes. So let's see. Okay, there definitely was a temporary breakup, a getting back together again. However, there is going to be a final breakup. I don't necessarily get that it's going to be this year or announced this year. It kind of feels more like that early, part of 2024 is when this happens for good and is actually announced. But I also feel like, just like Gabby and Dwayne, whatever his name is, Gabby and Miss Wade, that they will have been broken up for a good while before the rest of us hear about it. And, that whole thing of what happened with ASAP Bari, I mean, they were already having problems, don't get me wrong, but this whole situation that went down with ASAP Bari recently, that really caused the biggest problem that they've probably ever had in their relationship. And she really does see him. I know she's referred to him before as like oh, Uzi's kind of like a little kid. Like he's always wanting to like move around and do a million things every time we go anywhere. And he doesn't like to sit still and all of that. But Spirit saying like everything that's happened recently has really opened up her eyes to, you know what, maybe he actually isn't a man. Because I used to think of him as a man that maybe sometimes had childlike tendencies, but now I'm really starting to see he's not that man that I thought he was or that man that I want him to be. Because a real man, his friend never would have gone up on Twitter calling me bitches and hoes and calling me a liar and flipping out on me like that. Nor would, you not get on and check his ass if he still tried to do something like that. But like, you're not doing all of that. So how much of a man are you really? And so Spirit's saying she's definitely at a point where she's getting to her fed up point. Like, I might have taken him back for the moment just because it was so much drama and I just got other shit to deal with right now. But I'm at that point where the next time I'm not going to take you back and I'm not going to feel so bad about it. So, because he's showing up as the Knight of Wands, whereas she's the Queen of Swords. And between them is the Swords. On the other side of that, we've got the Two of Swords. It's like I've, walked around wearing a blindfold pretending like everything was fine. But now with the High Priestess and the Sun card, she's starting to see the truth in this situation. And she is feeling like the fool for staying with somebody that she's realizing never really truly had her best interests at heart the way that she really was hoping. I do feel her being a little concerned about finances right now and really trying to put her focus on fixing it, like making more money, creating more lanes, getting myself in a better financial situation, because she was depending on him a lot, which also meant that she wasn't working as much because it was easy to be like, well, Uzi's going to pay the rent. Uzi's going to pay for all this stuff. So, like, I don't have to do all these things. But that's why we're seeing her working more and more lately. All of these ads and sponsorships and deals that she's got, because she really is trying to elevate herself so that she doesn't have to depend on him, so she can walk away clean, as well as take care of herself. And Spirit's saying she has a very different mindset shift now, too. That she's never going to allow herself to be in this position again where she feels like she can't leave a guy because of financial reasons, or that she has to depend on a man for financial reasons. Like, don't get it twisted. She's still going to date guys that have money. But it's like, okay, you can pay for everything, but I'm going to still work. So that way, while you're paying for stuff, I actually have money to put up. Rather than, well, I just got lazy and let you do everything, but I wasn't really making a lot for myself during that time. So, that's a man-child. JT, take him to preschool and move on with your day, right? I actually appreciate his time over here in Miami. So, I'll continue with his last name at the very least. Oh, you're talking about Dwayne. JT is one of those people who slowly grow into their confidence. Yeah. She was there saying she didn't have to go as hard in that interview, but yes, you do. I think Nikki taught her that. She always preached to never depend on a man for your success. Exactly. I mean, this is the thing, you guys, because I know I'm old, so I compare what I'm used to and the artists that I grew up listening to against these newer people. But Nicki, Lady Gaga, Whitney Houston, they were always preaching that you can have a man, but you need to also have your own, because if that man decides that he don't want you no more, or you don't like him anymore, you don't have to sit there and put up with nothing. You can pack your shit up and go get your own place and leave. And, you know, it's just crazy because they were always like, get a career, make sure you have your own stuff, you know. What it was Lady Gaga's quote, you know, if you ever have to choose between a man and your career, choose your career, because it's never going to wake up one day and decide it doesn't love you anymore and leave you. And these new girls, it's like, depend on a man for everything. Make him pay all your bills so you don't have to work. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. It's so crazy. That like being independent is like having Diddy's credit card. That's not really being independent. That's you dependent on Diddy, you know? Like, it's just such different messages these days. Also, like I always say too, you know, we were growing up listening to NWA and Tupac, and they were all against like being crackheads, and this generation's like, we love to be crackheads. It's like, what? So yeah, she does. Well, this is the thing that I always say about JT. She really represents, like, I don't know, she's just like the perfect model to me. She has the look, the camera loves her. She can pull off being, you know, smiling or serious looks. She can wear all different kinds of outfits. Like, she's such a good model. And she has that whole thing that the camera just loves her, that Miami doesn't have that. And I think that that's, you know, it's like, and on top of it, JT is super freaking talented. So I really hope that she develops a really good relationship with a fashion house. Because imagine that, you know, JT drops her solo album, she goes on tour, and it's like Prada creates all the looks, or Balmain, or whoever, the same way that Beyonce has done that in the past, where she's picked one designer to create all of the looks for the tour. Like, I would love to see that, because that would just elevate JT so much and show everybody that she's not here to play. So, and I think that she would be a designer's dream to work with, because she can pull off so many different types of looks. It's like the female artist took a step back. Everybody is a sugar baby or side chick or mistress, right? And that's the shit that they used to diss. Oh, you sleep with people's husbands, you know, or you slept around behind your husband's back. And now these days, everybody's like, yeah, I'm going to sleep with your man. It's like, that wasn't like the cool thing when we were growing up. All the things that were like, oh my God, how could you do that? Like, this new generation is like hella promoting it. I feel like it should be a more niche one, because she has such a particular style. Brandon Blackwood would be somebody good for her to work with. I would love it if it was an up-and-coming black designer. But I'm just saying, you know, she just needs like that one designer that's like, sees her as the muse and just wants to like create just for her. I think that that would be so good for her. And I could totally see that happening. But if it was like a black female designer and she could really put somebody on, that would be amazing. So, especially because if you guys don't ever forget, Lotto was out here stealing designs from up-and-coming black female designers. She would find pictures of custom items and then have her team recreate them very cheaply in the fashion district in LA, because she didn't want to pay for the original designer. So Never forget that that's what Sideshow Bob's mistress does to black women. JT would be a great Yeezy model. Ooh, she would be a really good Yeezy model too. Not La Roach. I will never forget the look I saw yesterday. What did La Roach do? He was in a damn diaper. Was that him that I saw in the Shade Room for the CFDA Awards? And Sweetie was up there looking like a straw handbag. I was like, what in the hell are these people wearing today? But I just, for some reason, could not figure out who the hell that was in that picture. Because at first, like, when I started swiping, I was like, oh God, what has Billy Porter got on again? Because I always just associate him with wearing very out there, weird things on red carpets. And then I had to swipe back and I'm like, wait, that wasn't Billy. And then I was like, who is this? And I just could not place, like, who the hell it was. And Shade Room didn't put the names of anybody on there. So, oh my God. It's just, I think the reason why my brain would not comprehend that it was La Roach, because he's usually like such a great stylist and does such a good job of styling people, that like I think I never would have assumed that he would allow something that looked like that outfit to touch his body. That look was a mess. That look was a horrible, horrible mess. So anyways, guys, I do have to wrap it up because I have an appointment that I have to get to in real life. So I gotta, my Uber is coming to get me in about 20 minutes, so I gotta clean all of this up, but we will have some pre-recorded videos on Thursday. We are now doing lives on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard, 2 p.m. Eastern. That hasn't changed. Thursday, you guys will get pre-record since it was half and half on what people wanted. But we will still do our weekly lives. If you would like to hear or see from me more in the meantime, you can go to patreon.com/psychicbellalove, and you can always book your own personal appointment, psychicbellalove.com. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Give us a like on the way out. It is a free way to help. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here with me. And guys, we have the 11/11 portal this week too, so make sure you write down a list of things that you want to manifest. Do some manifesting work and work with that, because that's all about wishes being, you know, fulfilled and dreams coming true. Make sure that you are always thanking your ancestors, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. And remember that they're always here for you and they always love and support you as well. So, bye guys.